Hey, what's up, guys? It's Colin. Welcome to Earwax, and I am tired. Um, Full transparency with you guys. I have had a crazy start to the year, crazy couple of months. I'm kind of been doing double shifts at work. I was sick last week. My daughter is sick this week. The Olympics took up more of my time than I thought it was going to. And I'm a little bit behind on my release schedule, and I acknowledge that. And I'm sorry for those of you who are still dedicated watchers of this channel. I wanted to have more videos out by this time of the year. I don't know if that contributed to the lack of engagement on my last video, where it's probably the worst giveaway I've ever done. Only one person entered. I don't know if that was just because nobody wanted that record, which fair enough. I didn't necessarily want it either. Or if I just haven't been, keeping up with the quality of videos that, some of you guys have come to expect from me. So for all of those reasons, I am sorry. And I was really hoping that this video, or at least this next video that I was going to be releasing, was going to be my vinyl review and track by track breakdown of the new Converge album, Love Is Not Enough. But unfortunately, I still don't have that album. It's been out for a couple weeks now. I haven't even gotten a shipping notification, so I don't really know what's going on with it. I'm going to give it another week or so before I reach out and be like, hey, just seeing if there's any updates on when we're actually going to get this. But yeah, that was kind of my plan for at least the next video that I was going to do, which was supposed to be earlier this week. I ended up having to fly to Detroit kind of last minute for a work related thing for my day job. So I just, on behalf of myself, I am sorry, guys, that I haven't been keeping up with that. That being said, this is not going to be a normal video either. I was really wanting to do another album review today. And actually, when I was driving to work this morning, I was listening to the new Gorillaz album. And then it dawned on me, like by the time I got to work, that I can't do a review of the Gorillaz album because I'm also waiting on the vinyl for that. Did get a shipping notification for that, so vinyl review and full track by track breakdown of the Mountain will be coming soon. Hopefully within early next week is kind of what I'm aiming for. And then, I was at work and I was like, well, all right, if I can't do the Gorillaz album, there was a new Iron and Wine album that dropped today. And I listened to that a few times with the intention of kind of doing a review on that. And then came home. My kid is still sick. She, normally when I do like my reviews, we'll go down like on my third listen to it. We'll go down to the basement. I'll put it on. She'll kind of play, do her own thing. And then I'll write my notes. Wasn't able to do that because again she was sick. She was it was a kind of a difficult bedtime. So I don't really have a review for today. So what I thought I would do, besides coming on and kind of just talking about this stuff and explaining why I'm a little bit behind, and also just saying thank you for those of you that are still here, that are still watching. Somehow I'm still gaining subscribers, even though I feel like my content recently hasn't been amazing. So I do acknowledge that is really cool. I'm very grateful if you're here. If you're new, thanks so much for joining. I promise I've got a lot more cool stuff coming as soon as I've got time to do it. We definitely will still do that Converge album, hopefully whenever it gets here at some point. The new Gorillaz album coming out, or that's out, I'm going to be doing that one. But for today, number one, because I don't really have much prepared, and number two, I am exhausted. Like, it's been such a crazy few weeks. I thought I would do something a little bit different. So what we're going to do is we're going to do just kind of like an update of like what I've been listening to recently. We're going to go over some records that I've gotten in within the past like 6 months or so that I haven't really gotten over on, or haven't really gone over on this channel. We're going to talk about what I'm currently listening to right now. I'm actually going to take you guys into like my Spotify and like just kind of show what I've been listening to recently. Yes, I still use Spotify. It's what my wife uses. We've got a family plan and I don't want to change things up for her. But support your local artists, buy their merch, go see them live, buy records, like all that stuff helps out more than regardless of like what streaming service you choose to use. But yeah, so I thought that'd be kind of fun. So we'll go over a few of the records that I got recently. Just some stuff that like again wasn't necessarily like new albums that I was reviewing or stuff that I like got post when it was released, and then end up getting to do a review of it, and then we'll go through like what I've been listening to very recently on my Spotify and some stuff that I've gotten into that I'm really liking right now. And hopefully through this you find some new music. We can just kind of have like a casual discussion, not necessarily discussion, but like, casual ranting on what I've been really into recently. And then yeah, hopefully that Gorillaz album gets here soon and we can continue with our regularly scheduled programming. There was like some Patreon exclusive videos I want to do that I wasn't able to get time to, but those are still coming. Again, if you do feel the desire to subscribe to my Patreon, there's going to be some more exclusive stuff coming out on there soon. But just the fact that you're here and you're still watching, it means a ton to me. So thank you, all of you who are still here. And yeah, let's get into it. So first few records I'm going to go over, and I got kind of like a stack here to go over, but the first few I'm going to go over is kind of the band that I've been the most obsessed with, definitely within the past like 4 to 5 months. Definitely within the past like 4 months, 3 months, because I saw them live about 3 months ago. But even like prior to that, like I got really into them. And then they just sort of sunk their claws into me, and I've become obsessed. And that is going to be Chat Pile. So I picked up, I already had Cool World. That was like the album that got me into them. I picked that up probably about like a year ago or almost a year ago. But I went out and I picked up their other two albums. So we've got God's Country and then the collaboration album they did with Hayden Pedigo, In the Earth Again. Chat Pile is incredible. Saw them at the Decibel Metal and Beer Fest back in December. Absolutely blew me away. One of the best live performances I've seen in a very long time. They're like noise rock mixed with sludge metal. If you're not familiar with them, definitely go check them out. Listen to God's Country and Cool World first to sort of like get an idea of like what their true sound is. But then definitely check this album out. This Hayden Pedigo and the Earth Again split. It's, or not split, but like collaboration. It's mind blowing. So it's like Hayden Pedigo is like a post rock experimental musician out of I think Texas, and what they do on this album is just absolutely wild. It's one of the heaviest. It's one of like the just craziest as far as like pure composition wise albums I've heard in a very long time. You've got these bursts of like intensity with their like sort of traditional noise rock sludge metal that you get from Chat Pile, and then these really beautiful sort of like atmospheric symphonic sections of sort of the post rock, and it's mind-blowing. It's honestly one of the best things I've listened to a very long time. So if you're not familiar with them, go check out Chat Pile, check out God's Country and Cool World first, and then go check out that Hayden Pedigo album, In the Earth Again. If you like heavy music, if you like more experimental kind of weirder stuff, definitely go check that out. It's gonna be an amazing time. Another band I got into fairly recently, I think I like was fed one of their music videos through like my algorithm on YouTube and was like, oh, this looks interesting, and clicked on it. I was like, oh wow, I actually really like this. They had an album come out this past year. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I didn't get into it until like much later in the year, but very good. And then the label that they're on was having a sale, so I ended up picking up this and another record, and absolutely fell in love. This is like another just like incredible album that I can't stop listening to. That's going to be Celebrity Therapist by the Callous Dow Boys. This is, trying to find an angle that has a not so bad glare, but this is another wild, they're like post-hardcore with like some experimental noise rock thrown in. There's some like a little bit of mathcore elements as well. But yeah, it's a little bit of new metal even at like certain points. But this band, like, I don't know how I slept on them for so long. They are absolutely incredible. This album, the new album, like all of their whole discography basically. I definitely need to get more of them on vinyl, but this one I've been playing over and over and over and over again since I got it. It's wild. It's an amazing time. It's definitely one of the ones that's been on heavy rotation. If you're not familiar with the Callous Dow Boys, definitely go check them out. Again, they're going to be kind of in that like noise rock, post-hardcore, sort of feel with like some new metal influences. But yeah, really, really, really good. On that same purchase, I got this High on Fire record, luminiferous. Great little stoner metal record. There's like a little bit of heavier, sort of like almost doom influences here, but it's pretty much just like an alt metal, kind of like stoner metal record. Really fun. Really enjoyed this one as well. Not a band I was familiar with, but like it was also on sale. I was looking at the Callous Cowboy record. I was like, yeah, I'll pick one more. Got into them, like very, very good. There's a little bit of almost like sludge influences as well, but it's pretty much just a stoner album or stoner metal album. Yeah, really, really fun band. And if you're not familiar with High on Fire, which again I necessarily was not, definitely recommend giving them a listen. Speaking of High on Fire, another record I got. Now this one was back in like August, so it's not super new, but is Weed Eater Jason the Dragon. Ironically, it says right here for fans of High on Fire, or I guess produced by Steve Albini, who has also produced High on Fire, and then recommended if you like High on Fire. So little bit of connection there. Weed Eater I saw open up for Baroness, and they were fantastic. Really, really great, like stoner sludge metal band. Really fun time. If you ever get a chance to see them live, I highly recommend it. But I've been listening to this one a lot. There's a couple of their albums that have been on heavier rotation, at least in like my Spotify. Not recently, but like the few months coming out of that show, I got pretty deep into their discography, and not necessarily a band I was unfamiliar with because like I had listened to them before, but I never took the time to really dive in, and I'm glad that I did. So I definitely recommend it if you haven't yet. Dive a little bit deeper in the discography and give them a listen. All right, and this last one, at least for like the records that I'm showing off that I've gotten again somewhat recently, within the past like 8 months, is one where if I had known it was coming out, if anyone had known it was coming out, I would have planned on doing a review, vinyl review, everything. But it was a surprise drop. I didn't end up picking up the vinyl until like a week after the album came out. And this is going to be a little bit of a controversial one, considering like one of my past videos, but that's I Heard It's a Mess There Too by Aesop Rock. Surprise second album he dropped in 2025. This one came out in like I want to say September or October. Didn't announce it, anything. All of a sudden, boom, here it was. And I fucking love this album. I think it's better than Black Hole Superette. I think it's better than Integrated Tech Solutions. Like, I think it's the best album he's done since Spirit World Field Guide. This is what I wanted on Black Hole Superette. Like, I feel it's more fun. I feel it's a lot more playful. Production here is a lot more whimsical. It's a lot more just sort of like entertaining. Like, not again, and I feel like I have to keep saying this, but it's not that I did not like Black Hole Superette. I did. I just had really high expectations for it, and it didn't quite meet all of them. I thought it was, there was too much kind of crammed in. It was trying to do too much. This is what I wanted from a 2025 Aesop Rock release, and this album is absolutely fantastic. So if you have not listened to this one yet, go check it out. I heard there's a mess. I heard it's a mess there too. Yeah, one of my favorite things he's done in a long time. Again, I think it's better than Garbology. Like, I love this album. I've been playing it a lot. Anytime I've been in the mood for Aesop Rock, whether it's like on Spotify or at home on a record player, recently this is the one I've been putting on. All right, and with the magic of editing, here we are with my my Spotify, my top artists this month, and I'm kind of just gonna go through this and kind of just show you exactly like what I've been listening to recently, what is due to like I did a review or something like that, and what I've kind of been listening outside of independently of all that stuff. So we've got like my top artists this month. Obviously you're gonna have some artists here are my top artists that I was doing reviews for because I'm listening to those albums over and over again, racking up a lot of listens. So number one is Converge. Again, I've been listening to Love Is Not Enough a lot. And spoiler alert, like I'm gonna do the full review once I get it, but spoiler alert, I love this album. It's fucking amazing. It's probably gonna be in my top five at the end of the year. right now it's a very strong contender for my favorite album of the year. But yeah, it's so goddamn good. Go listen to it if you haven't yet. Hopefully, I do get this vinyl in a reasonable time where I can like actually do the review that I want to do. But if I don't, hey, this is me telling you right now, this is a fucking A+ album. It is fantastic. Go listen to it. After that, it's Gorillas. They just dropped The Mountain today. I've already listened to it a handful of times, and like Gorillas are always going to be my top listened artists because I listen to them so much. But yeah, The Mountain also fantastic. Hopefully, I'm getting that one in soon. There's moments of it that are like don't quite do it for me, or at least like don't elevate it to like in my opinion like one of the top echelons of like their top 3 or 4 albums. But it's very good. I'm enjoying a lot, and I've only done again like 2 full listens, so I've got some more listens to do for it before I like really fully form my opinion. You got Sightseeing Crew again. I watched or not watched. I listened to his new album a lot. Did a review, released that review, so that review's up if you want to go watch it. Same with like Silver Sun Pickups, Iron Wine. Both groups I've been listening to a lot recently. In preparation for their reviews, and then also like for the reviews for some pickups, listened to their new album a few times before eventually getting the vinyl. And then Iron and Wine just today listened to their album, the new album Hen's Teeth, a few times. So yeah, most of this top top 7 up here is stuff I was listening to reviews. But planted in the middle of that is All Them Witches. All Them Witches is a band that I just recently got into. They do have a new album coming out in April or May, I believe. And I will be doing a review of that album, but like they're also a band I just got into within the past month or so, and I have become obsessed. They are so good. They're like sort of like fuzzy garage rock, a little bit of like psych garage influence. They've got some like almost like drone rock sort of influences, but yeah, they're fucking incredible. Go listen to them again. They've got a new single out, and that was like I heard it on the radio or like it popped up on my like Spotify algorithm, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. And it's definitely one that if you have not listened to yet, you really should. And yeah, it's fucking incredible. Hot Mulligan, they're pretty consistently in my top listens band. I think they're are in my top listened artists list. I think they're the best like modern emo band, the best modern pop punk band. They continue to just pump out incredible music, incredible songs. And yeah, I'm really just on a Hot Mulligan kick. I have been for a few years, and I don't see that going away anytime soon. Then you get into like some other stuff I've been listening to a lot recently. You've got like Panzer Kings, which is a sort of like a dark country, like goth folk, murder folk group. So I think like my Instagram algorithm kind of showed me them. And it was like one of the guys in the band talking about how he created this playlist called Spooky Banjo Time, and I was actually just listening to it today. That's what this is over here. And yeah, a lot of like the Dead South and stuff like in kind of that vein, and I really like them. They're fun. They're a lot of fun. Bridget Calls Me Baby, so excited for their new album. I've got that coming. That's going to be a vinyl and album review. Seeing them in April, that I am just absolutely ecstatic to finally see them live. If you don't know Bridget Calls Me Baby, they were my top album of 2024, and just incredible indie rock 80s like new post-punk band out of Chicago. Viagra Boys, I've been listening to a lot of Viagra Boys. I was kind of surprised to see them my top artist of this month. I think I listened to Viagra Boys like once this month, and that may have just put them in the top. But yeah, that's kind of again, I really do like Viagra Boys. They're always kind of floating around, someone that I'll go back to when I'm just looking for like something casual to throw on. Descendants, I've been listening to a lot of Descendants recently. I just have been getting back into them. I mean, I've always loved Descendants, but like within the past few months, I've just been on a kick. I think I did like Milo Goes to College like a few times in a row, and then I just did like I Never Want to Grow Up a few times in a row. So yeah, that's not a big surprise there. U2, my dad was just in town. He's a big U2 fan. I really like, early U2, like their first few albums. But yeah, anytime he's in town, I'm always playing U2. It's just kind of a nostalgic thing for us. Bowie will always be my top listened artist. Bowie is God. Bowie is the closest that we ever get to Second Coming. And then Poppy, I did listen to her new album a couple times. I was like flirting with the idea of doing a review. Ended up not getting around to it. And then yeah, just this is kind of the remainder of my top artists. A lot of these are bands that I listen to very regularly. So yeah, kind of a little peek behind the curtain here. Just shows you some of the stuff that are on constant rotation in my life. None of this necessarily is stuff that I've like done reviews for or been listening to for any specific reason outside of like these are just bands that I listen to very frequently. Carcass is probably the one exception here. Carcass is not someone that I listen to a lot, but like I was talking about death metal with a buddy of mine, and we were going over like some of the big death metal bands that have existed throughout time. And I'm a huge like Death fan. I'm a huge Cannibal Corpse fan. I'm a huge like Morbid Angel fan. And he was talking about Carcass, and he was like, "This is the one band that I feel like in this scene that you never talk about." I'm like, "That's fair. They're not someone I've really listened to that much." So took the time, dive into their discography. They're so I think I need to listen more. I listened to like their first album, and then I listened to like one of their late '90s albums, and it was a pretty drastic like contrast between the two. And I'm sure there's a lot more of the discography that I need to get into. But this was kind of in just a conversation with a friend of mine about death metal. I was like, hey, you need to give these guys a chance. So that's why they're up there. They're now on my rotation as well. Rest of the stuff, again, it's all stuff that I listen to fairly regularly. I did just have like a very long like full day reggae playlist listen. So you've got like Revolution, Daily, Damian Marley here, kind of two opposite ends of like the reggae that I listen to. But yeah, this is it, guys. So you know, I'll end with this while we kind of just are sitting here on my Spotify page. Thanks so much again for being here. Again, I've got some more stuff coming out soon, some better stuff coming out soon. And until then, I appreciate every minute that you guys tune in. So thank you so much, and as always, I will talk to y'all soon. Peace.